When I said one day I hope to do a salsa record, it was something that's been on my bucket list and on my heart for a very long time. And it took me this long because it's a challenging music. It's very complicated, and with so much passion and drive to the music and what it means as far as community and the people, like it was time for me to do it.
Oh my gracious.
Even back in high school, Jennifer inspired more than
Cambié la imagen por vender Bitcoin.
Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga.
Welcome to Growing Up Latina. Sheila E, I'm so excited to have you on the show on National Latina Day. This is such a special moment for us. This is a huge, huge honor. And I just want to say first, thank you. And how are you, Queen? How is everything?
Thank you. It's a pleasure to meet you, and I've watched the show, and it's amazing. So thank you for doing what you do. We need this platform, and I appreciate it. And thank you for picking me, choosing me today to be on the show. I'm doing well. I'm a little hoarse and a little tired because we're on tour, so that happens, and we have more shows today. So it's just been amazing. I'm good. I'm good. I'm blessed.
Great. I want to start off by saying, like, how do you keep this energy, right? Like, you've been in the game for such a long time. You're literally telling us right now you're on tour. You're squeezing in this interview for Growing Up Latina. Like, how do you still have this drive, this passion to keep going? Like, what wakes you up in the morning?
God wakes me up in the morning, first of all. And it's just amazing. Like, I don't really have a job. I've never had a job in my life. So I feel that the only job that I have is to bless one person every single day. And if I can do that, that brings me so much joy. And it's just like music is healing. We had some amazing moments last night in the show, and the energy happens because when you find your passion and your purpose, it just changes your life, and that you get to do what you get to do, and you want to get up in the morning and like, I can't wait to do this again. Reach people in a way that musically is something that we don't all get to do, but those who have been chosen to do that and this is their career, is just pretty amazing.
Yes, definitely. Let's start with your new album. BAILAR is your first salsa album, which is a significant milestone in your career. What made you kind of like get into this bag and like produce this with some iconic people?
Yeah, I listened to my dad play music all my life. So the legendary Mr. Pete Escovedo, and
Yes.
he's a Latin jazz artist. Yeah, so growing up watching him play to vinyl every day, I kind of picked it up, and it was just pretty interesting to watch him play, not knowing that I was going to, as a kid, absorb everything like a sponge, and later on go, wow, I get to play this music. He brought in Latin music. It was Latin jazz, but he also brought in salseros and salsa music, and he would play Celia Cruz and Tito Puente and El Gran Combo and Ruben Blaze, the Fania Allstars, all these people. And so when I said one day I hope to do a salsa record, it was something that's been on my bucket list and on my heart for a very long time. And it took me this long because it's a challenging music. It's very complicated, and with so much passion and drive to the music and what it means as far as community and the people, like it was time for me to do it.
I love how you grew up in like this environment where your dad kind of championed you, right? Like to like go forward in this career. Not many of us had that growing up. Like for me, I wanted to be an actress, and my mother was like, no, 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 like go to school for like accounting. You know what I'm saying? So how important was that for you? Like just him being like that pivotal person in your life who's like, yes, no, you got this, you can do this. And mind you, you were like a one of one. Like there were not many people doing this at your time. So how important was that for you?
It was really important, just like I said, watching my dad play all the time, and also my mom would play a little bit of percussion and sing, and she took piano, and she was a bit musical as well, and always wanted to be involved in the music and in my dad's band. And just like they were like Lucy and Ricky Ricardo. She just wanted to be on stage all the time, and it was crazy, like crazy, crazy, still to this day. But my mom was an athlete and very active, and so I got both, like that energy and the drive. And my mom always like, you can do it. You can, I tell my dad, she can play in the band, let her play. So it was both of them together that really, like, I feel that if, my dad was a carpenter, I might have been a carpenter. I don't know, but him being a
Yes.
musician definitely helped. I was very influenced by what was going on in the.
Well, while we're on the topic of the household, what do you remember about like your sala? Like what novelas were you watching? What music were you listening to? What food were you eating? Like take me back to like that sala.
So back in the day when I was younger, many, 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 many years ago, like in the early 60s, really, I was born in 57. I will be 67 this year. Early on, there wasn't like a lot of television to watch, so that's why there was so much music in the house. So it was music. Our house was like the place to come and hang out. My mom, so we lived in a, not so great place, but it was still great for us. So we lived in the hood, but we had moms, we didn't have a lot of money, so it was rice and beans and tortillas and whatever we could put together, my mom could put together. And then my dad, he would have musicians. There were parties at our house every week. It was
Yes.
crazy. And people playing and, jam sessions. And my dad would have also his friends would come over and play. It was just like a crazy environment. And it was the place to be like. And then my dad would play records and we would have parties. And the next thing you know it, we would have the next morning I would wake up. Sometimes we would have people sleeping on the floor that I didn't even know who they were. Literally, it was like that. But they would keep the door open. And people would just come and hang out. It was a community center. I swear, it's crazy.
You worked with such an array of like iconic artists. One of them, which everyone talks about, right? Prince, who is the absolute legend himself. And you actually put him onto the genre of Latin jazz. How well, like, how did he receive that? Did he receive that well? Like, what were his thoughts on that? Because, like, this is like a new thing for him to even explore. But you were that person that was like, no, this is it. Like, there's something here.
Yeah. So when we met in 77, I think somewhere around there, first my dad had seen him before I did. My dad was recording with Carlos Santana in the studio when Prince came to the Bay Area to be in the studio where Carlos played and Sly Stone. So he came to record his first record there. And soon after I met him. So I told him about um, my dad's band. And I was like, and we all play together, like the whole family. My two brothers play with my dad. When we all play together, you got to come here. This Latin jazz music. He was like, oh, okay. So he came to the show and we played, and he just sat there amazed, like, what the heck is this? Like, he had never heard anything like that. And not only that, he was so, filled with joy, our family playing together, my dad, myself, my brothers, like that's what he wanted. He wanted, his dad was a musician as well. It was a piano player. So he wanted to play with his dad. And for him, it's just like, it is possible. And like, how do you guys know all these breaks of playing all these percussion instruments and looking at each other? And then you guys all play together. Like, how does that work? And I'm like, it's family. We grew up playing, listening, and he just wanted that. So the Latin music was different. So then he wanted to play and sit in a couple of times. So he sat in with my dad and he learned a little bit about the music. And then I started, bringing him all kind of Eddie Palmieri, Tito Puente, Fania All
Yes.
Stars, and some of the jazz, Miles Davis. There was a lot of music that we shared, and he loved it.
I love that. I love that you were able to like provide that knowledge for him. Just say like, no, look at us. We got something here. So thank you for that. Let's get into Bimba Colora, which is deeply rooted in the salsa roots. What did you learn about Celia Cruz and yourself when recreating this iconic track?
What did I learn about myself? You
Mm-hmm.
said? Wow.
Yes.
That's interesting. Well, I knew doing this record was going to be very challenging. And I think one thing I wished that I really learned how to speak Spanish, and because I grew up in an environment of not speaking it and not learning it, because my dad was forced, even though he understands and he does speak it, he was forced growing up not to speak Spanish. And so that environment of, well, I don't want my kids to go through what I went through. So we didn't learn Spanish. So I knew that, singing some things in Spanish and really playing salsa music, there are specific parts that have to be played together or it's wrong. I definitely, if I was going to do this, it had to be right. And so playing Bemba Colorada, it was one of my favorite songs that Celia played. And for me to be able to not only know her, but jam and play with her many times was just amazing. And so I said one day, I'd want to do one of her songs. And that song I picked specifically because even though it has this rhythm in the beginning, I put rumba in the beginning of it just to play
Yes.
with these other two girls, just to show that women are powerful. We're coming in and we're starting this video like this. And then going halfway through into the song, I wanted to play drums. And I told the other producer, I said, Tony, I want to play drums on this as well. That's why I want to do this song. And when I want to play halftime, I want to take a drum solo. He's like, wait, what? No one's ever done that. I said, exactly. It's just not that I'm trying to be the first, but the thing is my upbringing with Latin jazz and funk music and salsa all mixed together, from the Bay Area, from Oakland, listening to that environment of music. That's how I feel that I am as an artist. So I felt, is there a right or wrong way to play it? This is the way that I would play it if I recorded it.
I think that's so special that, you still have the ability to kind of like redefine your moments, bring new moments to the forefront. What do you attribute like this like energy of like still kind of recreating, right? Like you still can keep it fresh. You have your legacy that you're actively you're building it, but you have the ability, which not many people have, to still keep things fresh. And like you, even though you don't want to be like the first to do it, the truth is you kind of are the first to do a lot of things.
Yeah, you know what it is you have to be true to yourself. So this is who I am as a person, as an artist, and we tend to, as human beings, put ourselves inside like that box. And I live outside the box. I don't want to be boxed in. When I signed my first record deal in 84 or into 83 into 84, and I told the record company, they're like, I want to do a little bit of everything. I wanted to put Latin music on my first record, and they said no. And they're like, we have to categorize you. If we do that, we can't put you in as an R&B artist because R&B artists don't play Latin music. And I was like, okay. So I ended
Right.
up playing it. And it really, I had to fight through that whole thing. So what I would do, I signed the record deal. I did what I did, but I added a lot of percussion to bring that element in, making it fresh because it was different and using it as a lead as opposed to just background. It was something that was being provided as stepping into leadership and showing people that the imbalas, and especially a woman playing, you can also be that. There were not like women playing percussion like that. So to keep it fresh, I just continue to just do what I feel that is fun and exciting, and not asking, well, is this the first time anyone's done this? Just being me. And I'm not trying to be like everyone else. And that's what I think everyone should do. I'm influenced by so many artists, but I still have to be me, and that me is different than anybody else.
At this stage in your career, what challenges you now? Like, what do you go through that you feel like musically or even in the industry as a whole, like what challenges you?
I mean, I challenge myself constantly every time that I
Period.
get on that
Yes.
stage. That stage last night was ridiculous. I wish I would have filmed again. And I say that every time we play, but last night was just insane. It's like, and that's why I'm hoarse. Like I'm playing so hard and yelling and screaming and like giving it my all. And with the band, everyone is. And it's just, I love so much what I do. And I think, yeah, I don't know. What was your question again? I was getting ready.
Like what challenges you at
Oh,
this
the
stage in your
challenges.
career?
Yeah, so the challenges would be, for me, it's to getting ready to be 67 in this place where I am physically. to be in a place where I can still do what I want to do like I was doing it when I was 20 years old. That's challenging because my body hurts and it is not easy and it's harder, but it's not going to stop me. But it is so challenging. And if you see my regiment, like I just had to hurry up and do all this part of it right now before I got on. Like I have my blender here and I have this big case full of the vitamins and minerals and all kinds in a blender. And I have fresh kale and spinach and fruit so that I blend up. I have to like take care of myself or I wouldn't be able to do it. And it's still, I have a bad knee right now. I had a torn meniscus a second time and
Yeah.
I sprained my ankle and my ankle. There's so many things that hurt, but when you're up there, it doesn't matter. But those are the realistic challenges of life as you get older. It's gonna happen.
I will say, Sheila, you make everything look good and seamless. And had you not said anything, I promise you I wouldn't even know. And shout out to your regimen because that's super important. And I love that you are tapped into your self-care. I want to get into some rapid fire questions before we let you go. So these are gonna go quick. You ready?
Yes.
All right. Tell me you're Latina without telling me you're Latina.
Oh man. Uh, wow. You're catching me off guard. I would say my Latina really for me is always dancing, salsa. I'm always
Yes.
moving, dancing. It's just like, hey. Oh yeah.
What's your favorite Latin dish?
Oh man, this is hard. Arroz con pollo, or, well,
Yes.
chicken, no, or chicken mole. Like chicken mole, I'd have to say.
There you go. What's one thing you need in the morning?
One that I eat in the morning,
What's one thing that you need in the morning?
or need in the morning.
Need.
Ooh,
Okay. What is this chapter of your life called?
chapter 3.
Okay. What is something you would want to work on that you have not already?
Be more diligent about working on my self-care, which I'm doing, but it's taking even more. So I self-care.
Okay. If you had the opportunity to have the Last Supper with three Latinas, dead or alive, who would they be?
Whoo, my God. Okay, well, I get back to Celia, Tito, and my dad.
Love it. What does it mean to you to be Latina?
I'm more than enough. I am powerful. I am strong. I am beautiful. And I am full of love and peace.
If you had to sum up the essence of Sheila E in one beat, one rhythm, one sound, what would it be?
Rumba!
Okay, and finish this sentence. Growing up Latina is.
Growing up Latina is the most powerful thing you can be.
Okay. And last question. Looking back, is there one defining moment that still gives you chills and reminds you why you fell in love with music in the first place?
Man, that's every day. That it's an emotion that happens every single day, as if I'm living my best life now, but as if tomorrow's not promised.
And if you had one last thing to say to your fans, to your community, the audience here, Growing Up Latina on National Latina Day, what would it be?
I would say love yourself so that you can love others because the most important thing, the most wonderful thing is love. And for us, through music that we share, we can share our love for one another. And don't be afraid, like me growing up not being able to speak Spanish. It's okay. It doesn't make you less Latina. Your culture, your passion, and who you are. Accept who you are and be that.
I love you so much, Sheila E. I thank you. This is a true, true honor. Like you have no idea. I will remember this moment for the rest of my life. So thank you so much.
Thank you
And I'm
so
just so
much.
happy to have you on this special day with us. God bless you. Good luck on the tour. Good luck on all your
Thank you.
endeavors. And we are looking forward to having you back on the show, hopefully in the studio soon. But
Yes.
until then, we will continue to watch everything go down on your social media. And God bless you, Sheila.
Thank you. God bless you. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.